Okay, we woke up not too long ago. Motorcycle. They made this extremely difficult. Do not recommend. Okay, after all the hassle, we got it delivered, got it in the garage. It's still a little cold. It's a little tall for Molly. Right now, can you try and... She doesn't have a lot of squish in the suspension. So I'm going to turn down the preload on the shock. I'll show you how to do that. So the first mod is to try to get it down. We're trying to see if we can, 1.5 inch lowering link would do it by simulating 1.5 inches with 2x4s. But we're going to try that. All right, first mod. Get that off of there. And there's a little nut on the back. Okay, and we just take this off of there, and then that'll be naked. I'll do the other side and get rid of those reflectors. It's gonna need a plate eliminator kit because that's heinous, and probably de-nerd this with some safety stickers. Okay, just loosen this off. After we took the plate off, we're gonna try and get these stupid reflectors off. All right. This ugly thing off, and we'll put the plate back on temporarily. I don't like that. That gap in there.
Yeah, I guess, maybe for vibration or something.
Yeah. So you take the key, turn this clockwise, and then there's a little push clip here. You have to get underneath it and pull it, and then you gotta wiggle it, and there's hooks here. You don't want to just yank it right out. So set that there. And we have to unhook this strap here. This falls out. And then this is your toolkit. And in here should be the preload adjuster. A little dinky handle. And let me see that out of the way. And you see the valleys like a mountain range. So that will make the spring stiffer and then stiffer and stiffer. We might just be only able to turn it this way and it'll fall. The lowest position's here, so it's on the second to high from the lowest position. So we're gonna try to take the little finger tool and hook in one of these grooves and turn it the other way. Okay, so I was able to go this way and roll it down into this valley. You see how that's the highest part over there? And then it falls over this big jump. So I was able to go in by pulling the positive battery cable out back this way and going in like that. It's possible, not very easy, but it's possible. So I'm gonna put this all back together, the reverse of what I showed you, put the strap back on, put the toolkit back on, the little cover, and then strap it all the way, and then side cover. Then right here you have a fuse panel, just, was it 5 fuses? It's probably like a start solenoid or something like that, I'm not sure. But I like this little thing, it's fuel injected, it's pretty neat. So there's 2 tabs, slide that in there, and just put this on there, and then slide this in here, like that. Should fill this clip in over here, and then this should go into something over there. I think that's it. I'm filming this.
No, you're not. Come on.
What are you doing?
I was trying to put it up, but I don't know why it won't. Needs to lower a little bit, but not as much as we thought.
So, hold on, can you go more tiptoe and like...
Oh no, this is all I have.
So, now you don't have to stand on the boards. Your butt's squashing the suspension just enough. Hold on. Try it with the boards. Hold on. Sit on it all the way. Alright, so with a 1.5 inch lowering, that's kind of where your feet need to be. Now pick up on your toes a little bit. I just want to see this is squat. Go up and down. Okay, so we got some squish. That's good. So a 1.5 inch lowering kit with the option of going 2 inch will be fine. The other thing I think we're gonna do here is slide the forks up. We're gonna have to make sure this wire doesn't get pinched, but we might do a riser. I just want to make sure how much slack is in these cables. Bar risers are nice. Maybe I have fat bars we might throw on, but we just want to get the bar up a little bit to slide the fork tube up a little bit. We could probably do a little bit of that now, get a little 3/4 of an inch out of the front, maybe. Just loosen up here and here, and just slide the tube up through the clamps, and that should give us another, at least a finger's width lowering, and it might help a little bit. Maybe get away without the fork, the bar risers for now. Okay, so when I was pulling in here, it felt a little washy, and that tells me that the front tire is usually a little low. And I always check the beginning, first ride of every season over the winter, like the first ride, or if it sits for a couple weeks. 25, barely. And takes 33. On a little tire like that, that is more than enough to make it feel really washy. Just 2-3 PSI, you feel the difference in. So I checked the back already, same story. Okay, a couple days later, we ordered some stuff, and the bike is up on the jack. We got this link, which should lower it 1.5 inches. It seems beefier than the factory link. It's got grease. The factory does not. This is another thing that goes in the shock. That should lower it another 0.75. We're not going to try to use that just yet. We're going to see if that does it. And we're going to try and slide the forks up a little bit, match it up, probably ditch these things, and see what happens. Moves a little bit. Okay, so down here, this is the link. That goes down here into the frame, and then this is down here. So this is, there's not a head on this side, and there's not a head on that side. So you just got to loosen the nut on this side and that side, slide it out, and put the new link in, and probably gonna have to pick the wheel up, jerk it around. The other piece would attach here on the shock, but I don't think we're gonna need to do that. We'll see. That could be a little bit harder of a project. I don't know yet. So let's start loosening these bolts up. Okay, 17mm nut. The front one on this side is very tight. This side's a little less tight. So I'm gonna pick up the back wheel, and then you could shove that forward. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Okay, I slid the kickstand down, and I was able to grab the bolt with the plier. And then right here, now that there's no weight on this, you could just push that in with your finger and just pull the bolt out with your hand. I have to go on the other side, but you want to pull the bolt out?
Push it.
Here.
Not less than that.
Okay, and this should come right out.
Mm-hmm.
So bolt came out. Now we gotta pick the back wheel up, because this is also hitting my jack. And I have to do the reverse. Okay. Can you start that bolt? Mm-hmm. You see how it has a flat side, how it goes into the groove over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, push it there. Okay. I'm gonna start the nut. You have it in the right spot?
Yep.
Okay. All right, now come on this side. does that feel like that? Okay, I didn't start read the instructions. I'm guessing is the bolt felt like a hot dog in a hallway. I'm thinking that goes like that. Yes.
I fucking hate you.
We're gonna shove that back in and then start that bolt again.
Can I have the bolt back?
Yeah. Hold the bike. Okay. Come on this side now. And film this.
Let's just want to continue this film.
Okay, so I put the sleeve in there, and now this doesn't wiggle back and forth. This sleeve stays in here. So now we just got to put the shorter one in from this side. You can see how it has the flat side. And it's just gonna go in like that. So I'm gonna pull the wheel up, shove that in, and then tighten it all down. Okay, link's in. It's definitely lower. You wanna try it? You think you can do it by yourself?
Yeah. If our floor was level, it's definitely lower.
Yeah? You want me to bring the front down a little bit?
I don't know.
And do like a half inch or something?
I don't know how that's gonna feel.
You're not gonna really notice it.
Yeah.
Weird. Well, can you squish the suspension? So that's as squishy as it gets. Okay, took it outside for a little spin. The kickstand's a little long. We're gonna shorten it. You can buy shortened kickstands. They're expensive. I'm just gonna cut and weld it. We're gonna paint the kickstand black. You'll never know. She's having a little problem. There's nothing to grip on. I'm gonna weld like a little triangle piece of metal here or something. And just a little gripper to flip it back. 10 mil for the kickstand safety switch. It won't start with the kickstand down with it in gear or some shit. Or it'll also stall the bike out with the kickstand down when you put it in gear. 6 mil hex right there, and the spring. So take that off, cut it, take a little chunk out of it, and weld it up. Okay, here's the kickstand I made. I just welded a little tab on there. It's shortened down at the bottom. We just spray painted it black. It's been on there for a little bit. I got it propped up over in the pillar here. We got a front sprocket for it. So this is one tooth down, and that should give it a more similar gear ratio to the Dirtbike model. It's a little luggy down low, where the RPMs are just way too low when you're going slow. I think this would be better for creeping in the woods. It also make it feel like it has more power. It'll be more torquey off the line. So we're gonna get the going on that. Okay, little side cover comes off with 2 8 mils and this little plate's behind it. It's like a stiffening plate or something. But to get this sprocket off, there's a flat tab or a washer that we have to bend back over and then wing this nut off of there. Okay, I pulled the cotter pin out of the other side on the axle nut. You're gonna have to loosen the axle nut, and then I took these loose here, and you're gonna have to be able to slide the axle or the whole wheel assembly forward to put way too much slack in the chain to get that off of there. So I'm gonna find out what size that is. I'll tell you. I'll wing it off with the impact. Okay, that's loose. Loosen the axle nut. 22 nut side. This side 17. This side 27 mil. Right there. And I bent that tab back already. Okay, So you'll notice that there's not any Loctite on this nut. That's because it doesn't need any. This washer behind there has all these little teeth, and it's basically keyed to the shaft with a crank. So this can't move independently of that. So when the nut is folded over, the washer's folded over the nut can't physically back off. So now that this is loose, the wheel slid forward, we should be able to. It's a greasy mess, so. Okay. You notice there's a flat side and a raised side to the gear. So I'm gonna work on getting that out of here. Okay, that's the part number. This is the new gear. It's lightweight. It's one tooth less, and it has the same amount of teeth in there, or keyways, and then there's that bump outside that goes towards the motor. So I'll put that in there and try and get it all tightened down. Okay, so I just put a little pre-tension on there. You just always want to line up the marks. You can see there's a mark on here, and then there's a mark on there. So I just have it to the 5th one. And that's getting me closer, so then I just wrap that down, couple ugga-duggas. You don't want to crank on that. That's way overkill. You just want to 2, 3 of those, and that's it. And then we're going to fold the tab down. Okay, so that's tight, and then I smashed that down. I took the plier, the same one I used to pull the cotter pin out, and I just pre-bent it, and then I just whacked it with a screwdriver and a hammer. I'm the king of overkill. I like to go a little bit more, so I just did this corner here, so the corner can't round the edge. You don't have to, just one flat. I just do everything too much. So gotta weasel this back in there, make sure this doesn't fall out, and then tighten that up. All right, now that I'm down here and I got the front sprocket tight and the chain adjusted, that's actually a little tight. I'm gonna end up coming back to that. So that should be like a hair looser, but when you sit on it, it should give it more slack. Okay, I adjusted it now before I forgot. So we have this skid plate, it's Ricochet. It came with kind of shitty instructions. 2 10s and a clamp. I've done this before on my bike. It's not even a Cowie, but it's all the same. The 2 10s, they're gonna go right there in the front. This clamp is going to rotate around like, you see where I'm at, rotate around like that somehow. Yeah, it's off-centered on here, so it's gonna be closer this way. It might even go this way. That seems more correct. So I think it goes that way. We'll see if I'm right. Okay, so the plate is tucked between the exhaust and the frame. I have the 2 10s started. This is gonna be a 13 head. So this is gonna have to fish in there. You're gonna need 2 hands and start to bolt on the other side. And then you're gonna tighten the front up a little bit, tighten the back up a little bit, just to center it all up nice. Okay, and slowly but surely, you can see that's starting to get sucked up. So I'm gonna swap sockets. Grab the 10 and just keep tightening everything in a circle. Okay, just like that. The skid plate's on. We lowered it. Sprocket change. We got this pretty much ready for the season. It's still early in the season. It snowed a couple inches this morning. We've actually rode once or twice this year already. Maybe 2 or 3 times. And it seems to be running good. She likes it. Like I said, we got this nice and low. She's 5 foot in shoes, so everything we did was very needed. She's ridden plenty before, just never on the dirt. So we're just trying to get her comfortable. And I think she said she wants to get a different seat eventually. We have to do something about the ugly tail and maybe the muffler. And I think she'll be happy. We might change out the bars. I have fat bars somewhere and risers. We'll just see what she needs as we go along. Okay, I'm working on something here. I just got to call my girlfriend and confirm that it's okay to cut her new bike. But I took the license plate off. There's 210s back here. And then right up here, there was 2 screws. And behind that, when you pull this flat back, there's an 8 holding this stupid reflector on. And I think if I just drill these 2 holes out just a little bit wider, take the plate bracket, and if it was sitting on there just like that, the plate would be angling down slightly. That puts it kind of straight. And that hole lines up. And you can't see it, but that hole and that hole line up with that. Just take that and then cut this with the angle grinder, and I think it'll be fixed. It'll be so much better. Good news, I called her and I got vague borderline permission to do it, so that means I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna drill those holes out a little bit bigger so that these 10 mils that were here can come in through the back, tighten up, and fit through there. And then I'm gonna go get the angle grinder and just, and it'll be so much better. Okay, don't mind what I'm wearing. The season's changed 15 times in 4 days. My knees can't take another possible moment of it. And it's the weekend. And I'm not doing this at my shop. I can't ride it to my shop. Shop's 20 minutes away. So we're just going to see? He popped. This will clean up really well. Let's take a piece of sandpaper, right over it. Done. Okay, got that all buttoned up. These bolts in here that hold this bracket on from the other side, they were a little tricky. So when you take these screws out here and those ones there, you can get barely enough room. If you have like a little Dremel, there's like where the screws in, it's the hole, and then there's like a plastic ribs, and you have to grind out the top one. You can either get like a hot razor blade, like you heat it with a torch and you can cut it, or like I did a little Dremel and end cutters, and I was able to get the bolt through there and then a socket on there and just tighten it on there. And it looks so much better. Raised up. I don't think it needs a plate eliminator kit. That should do it for now. So that's just a little bonus in this video. So I'm probably gonna end it here.